Hello everybody, how are we? Welcome in. It's Wednesday evening, which of course means we have some more British Steel to do. And you know what? I think we're in a pretty good spot, to be honest, right now. We're planning for season 4. We had a little bit of a sort of impromptu stream last night, which is quite nice, just so we could sort of get in and do a bit of sort of like do a bit of scouting really for the for next season and try and sort of set some targets up and stuff, because as exciting as the as those streams can be, last night was just a case of like, should we just do it pretty chilled and like have a bit of a chat? And it was lovely. It was really nice and lovely. So we think, well, we've definitely signed a couple of players. We think we have a midfield. Do we have a defence? We don't know. Do we have a strike force? We don't know. I guess we're about to find out. Evening, Muro Decane, Ep20's in as well. Lee is in, of course, also as well. Keith, My Running Life, is in. And, of course, Rogi there, Ragio. Welcome in, everybody. Hope we are, of course, very well indeed. This is pre-season, Season 4, British Steel Challenge, Banbridge Town in Northern Ireland. We're currently in the Championship in Northern Ireland, for those people who are brand new to the stream. Tom Spark, even Twin, loving the podcast work as ever. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate that. The podcast, of course, has dropped today. If you haven't listened to it, go and have a little listen. Football Manager Show, myself, RDF Tactics, producer Steve. We talked to CJ Ramson, this week to talk about the data update on the patch as well. So it's quite a great episode. CJ is just like, he's so good, CJ, man. Like, seriously, getting to have a bit of a chat with him was really, really cool. Jimmy Boomtown, welcome Jimmy Boomtown. We're just doing a bit of pre-season planning, season 4. Hope you're good. So this is where we are then. We have brought in, well, we've demoted a couple of players to sort of like get them out of the squad. Released a couple of players yesterday as well. We have brought players in. This is who we've brought. Okay, so finally landed Connor Gormley. Finally. And then you look at those attributes if you're brand new to the stream going, really? You finally landed this guy? Like, are you happy about this? This has been 2 years in the making before we got Connor Gormley in. But yeah, no, he's good. He's good for this level. He could do it with beefing up a little bit. He's 26. He's probably not going to put too much more weight on right now. But he's versatile and he plays through the spine of the team as well. He can play centre half. He can play DM. He can play midfield if needs be. He can go out to right back if needs be. So, you know, that's what we're looking for. Trying to get these players who can play multiple positions, save us a bit of cash because we are now starting to pay wages for players. That is, of course, going to be imperative as we go forward. So he's in. We're happy to have him in. We're looking at potentially playing him. I think, do we play him at centre-back? Possibly. Or that DM role. Either or, to be honest, is pretty good. He's sort of apparently 2.5 stars in each of those positions. So we're happy. Or he's a 3-star fullback. So there you go. Maybe a fullback, but I'm not 100% sure about some of these technicals here. Particularly marking's not great, and his tackling is alright. His tackling's decent. His position's pretty good. His acceleration's good. A halfback says A15. You know what? That's a good shout, to be honest. It's a good shout because I think definitely a DM, but a halfback is probably quite an interesting one. I think someone was listening to the Football Manager show this week, so where we went looking for halfbacks in search for a star. We've also brought Durrell Manhertz in on loan from Port Vale. He's a left back or left wing back potentially. Good acceleration, look at that, 14 pace as well. 6 for crossing, which in this league isn't actually too bad. Tackling of 12, marking of 9, determination of 14, concentration of 13. So he could be quite handy, to be honest, as a fullback. A little on the short side, maybe at 5'7", but you know, we can see, you know, he's an extra body in there. We're not paying him either, so again, that's an absolute bonus, and he's already better than apparently our best left back, who is of course a right back. Hills, is there going to be a jingle for Search for a Star? Possibly Hills. I know it's becoming a bit of a thing now, isn't it, with me sort of like having to improvise the Search for a Star jingle. At the minute, producer Steve is quite busy with the sports watching tournament and doing some extra work, and he's doing other work on other podcasts as well. He's very much in demand, so we're sort of like conscious that we can't be sort of like taking too much of his time. But if anybody wants to do a jingle, feel free to submit a jingle to us. But at the minute, I'm very much sticking with the me singing the Search for a Star, which I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. So, but it's certainly there. Barton fell asleep to your dulcet tones last night, and here we are again. Mrs. B will be getting worried. Mrs. B, don't worry. It's just a thing. It's a phase we all go through where we talk to men on the internet about spreadsheets. Totally fine. Right. Welcome back, Barton. Pleasure to have you in. Play the tiny lad in stilts. We could do Rogie. That's not a bad shout, to be honest. This, however, Diego McGann. He's a defensive midfielder if ever I've seen one as well. Look at this. Marking 10, passing 10, tackling not so great, 7, vision 11, so he could potentially be a deep line playmaker maybe. Positioning 10, decision making 13. So he comes in formerly of Newry. He was at Crewe United last season. Didn't play too many games last season. Played 9 games for them. So happy to get him in. £110 a week, which is quite expensive for us, to be honest. But he goes into that midfield alongside another player who will sign for us once the 15th of July rolls round. So we have to have a look here at this guy, George Sheridan. Now we've beaten off some teams are trying to get involved with him, to be honest. We've signed him from Curzon Ashton. He's a free transfer, and I think he's our DM going forward, to be honest. Crossy 20, what's your tips for pre-season? I've sold a lot of players for good money, haven't found anyone to replace them. My tip, Crossy, and you're going to hate this because this is my tip. I would have had the squad planner from the start of the season. I would have already had those players identified coming into the summer, going, right, what positions do I need to replace and who are my options? Granted, at this level, when we're doing it, we have done a little bit of scouting at the end of the season. It's been like, all right, who's around? Like, you know, what sort of, who's free, who's, you know, we didn't know where we were going to finish. We didn't know what sort of money we'd have. But I'd always have a few players in my back pocket to be like, right, who's number one, who's number two, who's number three targets. Some people have got 10 targets, you know, for each position, which is great. If you've got that sort of depth, then awesome. But, you know, that's what I would be looking at personally. Stamina of 2 is not ideal, to be honest. Yeah, maybe he's got asthma, so we have to think about that. So we're gonna put him on a position that just says take fewer risks. Again, he does like to sit here with this DM role, so I think maybe have him and possibly we have either Gormley or McGann just sitting and not really doing too much, so they can do that defensive work if needs be in here, you know. So that's the plan. Evening, Raoul. How are you? Welcome in. Nice to have you here. The interesting things we've got, of course, and this is interesting. Okay, we still need a striker. Okay, I think we still need a striker. We probably still need a centre-back as well. Evening, Max Cutie. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you again. Appreciate you dropping in, by the way. Shout out to Max Cutie, by the way. We raided into him last night. Brand new streamer. His first ever stream last night. Based over in Australia. Is Australia? I'm sure it was Australia. It was Australia or New Zealand. I think it was definitely Australia. And you know what? Top dude. So if you're in the chat right now, give him a follow, because you know what, I think he's got something. So yeah, everyone who went over and saw him last night, I hope you had a nice time with him. But yeah, if you can do chat, please drop a little like on him right there. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, top dude. So yeah, appreciate you popping back in, Max. It's a pleasure to see you. Raul's decent. Hand stuck in a cast. Stuck with it till I don't know, honestly. Next check on the fingers the 21st. I turned 18 on the 12th. What a gift. I mean, look, if you're just about to turn 18, Raul, I don't know what you've done to your hand to put it in a cast, but I'm going to presume, as a lot of us are already presuming, getting yourself a little early birthday present there. So good work, pal. But yes, congratulations on your turning 18. That's going to be terribly exciting for you. However, this is what's exciting, okay? We spoke last night in the chat, because obviously the whole point of the save is to sort of like win as many trophies as we possibly can in the British Isles and Northern Ireland. We looked around and thought there's some potential chances here. So Portadown is a club that we're looking at, right? Okay, they've just been relegated from the Premiership, so they are coming down into our division. We are planning as if we're staying at Banbridge, okay, but bear in mind this is our 4th season here. We've won 2 trophies. Okay, Portadown are the biggest club that's going to drop in our division, okay? Anyone who listened to FMT back in the day with myself and Matt will remember Carvice. Possibly. A couple of young lads, I say young lads, a couple of lads got in touch with us and suggested that we could potentially be considered for the Carvice job. That would be a nice bit of narrative to end up at Carvice. They've just been promoted into the Cymru North. It's a hell of a drop down from Banbridge, but I mean, it's narrative, innit? It's absolute narrative. We would be in here, so we'd only have one position to be. Like, there's one promotion spot in the Welsh North Division, right? And I'm guessing we would be expected to finish here. Should be 16th. We're talking here about, are we treading water with Banbridge? As much as that would be amazing, right? Getting the Carvice job, I think we hold out for it for now and we try and come into it a little bit later on. But it's cool that they've been promoted into the actual game now. So yeah, hopefully we can get them at some point. They could be our Welsh team. But let's try and finish Northern Ireland first, okay? We need to declare the interest in the Portadown job. Right, A15. That's an interesting thing to debate. So let's quickly. You can't go down, so you got to go back and then drop back. I mean, there is that thing, of course, if we went there and got relegated, we'd be sacked straight away, though, Barton. That's the trouble. It's kind of the same thing we had with Banbridge to go like, oh, this could be a very short save if we get relegated in the first season. We didn't, thankfully, which was quite good. So yeah, we gotta see what happens. I mean, there is a possibility that we fly straight up with Carvice, but let's keep them on the let's just keep them in there. Like, you know, we'll keep our eyes out. Wales Lower Leagues is brutal, it's fun, but one promotion spot is tough. Exactly, Razio, exactly, that's my thing. Whereas here, you know, we have for ourselves in the championship, there is still a playoffs. See what I mean? Like, we do still have an option of actually making something happen. So, you know, you can finish third and still get promoted, possibly. The Evening Nerd Herder, how are you, buddy? And we're only 12 points behind odds this season. Can we buy 12 more points next year? That's the interesting thing. And I've just looked at the league there as well. The Northern Irish Championship is ranked 150th, okay? And the Cymru North is ranked 178th. So it is a step down at this point. I think we do Wales when we have a little bit more of a rep, I think. Just hanging, waiting for club football to return. I mean, hey, depending upon what club you support, Nerd Herder, it is back, because I watched I watched Sunderland versus Birmingham on Saturday. So club football's back. York versus Wrexham happened. So Hollywood FC came to York. That happened. Ebbsfleet, Hayes and Yedding. I mean, we could have a quick chat with Carver at £500 a week. It's not actually that much less than what we've currently got. Yeah, Frankfurt fan. Okay. Bundesliga's not back yet. Got ya. Do we? Here's a question for the chat. Do we declare an interest in the Portadown job, or do we just sort of like let it bubble around and see what happens? Because I sort of feel bad putting Kevin Horlock under a bit of additional pressure. Plus, I don't really want us to be laughed out of it, just in case, you know. Because I mean, that would be embarrassing, right? It'd be embarrassing. Our statue has grown a little bit. We have moved up. Where have we moved up to? We're currently half a star. There's Cliftonville. Look, we're not that far behind Cliftonville. There's Portadown all the way here. 1.5 star team. We're currently half a star. I mean, that is a big jump, isn't it? That is a big jump. Ards and Newry are sort of like, Ards have just been promoted as well. So Newry, of course, in our division, they're again one of the bigger teams. Welders. I mean, Portadown, one of the biggest teams in Northern Ireland. Ballyclare made a bid for Gordon, and Limavardy want to take Croskery. Now, Croskery was our player of the season last season. He's obviously not got a contract, so I think we have to try and tie him down, to be honest, because he was very good for us. Oh, I'm just 65. I give him it. You know, never declare interest in jobs, says Razio. As I'm concerned, my current employers will show me the door. Do we declare that we are ported down? I like it. I like it, Rogie. See, the thing is, I am very much a coin toss on this one. I'm not massively concerned that the current employers will be like going, oh, what the hell are you doing? You know, why are you looking to leave? Because that's not a huge issue for us, because we can turn and go, well, actually, we're doing this challenge where we have to win all the titles, and like, don't really think that you're going to be here. We're not going to win the title here. I mean, they probably won't understand because, like, you know, as far as they're concerned, it's not a video game, it's real life. But Banbridge versus Crewe in the Middlester Cup. That's for next season. Actually, are we moving up at any point now? No, we're still where of course, we're nowhere near the top of the tables just yet, are we? We're going to be way down the bottom here, I'd imagine. We're not even on page 7. It's fine. How's the challenge going? The challenge is going. It's going very slowly, to be honest, Nerd Herder. In one sense, we've won. Here's what we got. This is us right now. We've won 2 trophies in. Let's update that graphic as well because we're now into season 4. So we've won 2 trophies in what is about to be 4 seasons. So on the face of it, that's not too bad. Yeah. But some people would obviously say that, well, actually, that's not great because we need to start getting a bit of a move on, you know? So, it depends upon which side of the fence you sat on, really. Yeah. Fat Nige, I watched the start of the Stockport-Charlton match tonight. Stockport were FM'd after 7 minutes. Defender missed the header from a corner. Keeper on the line just pushed it straight to his own centre-half who deflected it into the net. And now they're 2-1 up. Wow. Beautiful scenes. Beautiful scenes. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Football is back. We have to win every cup. Yeah, that's the thing. None of the... it's not just the top division, unfortunately. It's a proper grind, this one. So Ryan Boyle has left. Young defender. He's gone. I read on the internet, the defenders and keepers never make mistakes in real life, only in FM23. Hey, you know what, regular guy? If it's on the internet, it's probably true. So I'd have a look at that if I was you, mate. You could be onto something there. You could be onto something. So Carvish, obviously their job's still going. The Blenavon Blues, Kevin Cribra. Is that who you're managing, Rajo? Kevin. There's Cohen, Denby, Langeffin, or Langeffney, and Ton Pentra. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new teams in the in the lower divisions of Wales. Poole have been promoted in the Vanarama South. Tamworth have been promoted. Folkestone, Chesham, and Bishop Stortford. Still insecure at Portadown. Regular guy like you, Tony, I mostly play lower levels, so I was used to defenders doing silly things. Exactly. This is where it needs to be. Look how close that pull was there. 60-40. Yes, we declare it. No, we don't. We've got a friendly against Sports Washing United's under 23s. So I didn't pick the friendlies, clearly. I'll tell you what, let's put our name in the hat, shall we? We'll declare the interest, but you know what? Ooh, Jameson's considered the leading candidate. What about that? Maybe this is a thing. Okay. Kaiserslautern all the way. Me and Rogue, you've got a big thing with Kaiserslautern Herder. Love a Kaiserslautern save over here. Absolutely love a Kaiserslautern save. So we fully endorse that. Up the Die Rotten Tufel, exactly. What's your reaction to being linked with such a high-profile job at Portadown? I mean, look, it's an honour. I think if we could get Portadown... The thing is, and again, without wanting to sort of like put pressure on myself here. Ooh, look at that, bored, disappointed. Without wanting to put pressure on myself, Portadown would come with a lot of pressure. Would probably come with a lot of pressure. So the Banbridge board have released a press statement saying they're disappointed. They added they were disappointed at the turn of events that Portadown would only be obliged to pay a very affordable and reduced compensation fee. Ooh. Meaning that they are powerless to prevent Jameson from leaving. There you go. Fat Nige, don't blame Portadown. You'd be my leading candidate for any job. I mean, I appreciate that, Nige. I appreciate that a lot. But let's see what happens, shall we? Because there's still going to be a lot of football still to play. A long time before the season starts, and who knows what happens? Who knows what happens at this point? But as I say, though, there is an issue that if the Portadown job became available, then that is more pressure than we'd be under at Banbridge. Our expectations are low. We're kind of on a good thing, really, in the fact that we're not expected to do anything. Like, our expectation is to not get relegated. But from a save perspective, we need to start winning some shit, you know? So that comes with a step up in terms of quality, you know what I mean? Who else could send all their players to sleep with this soothing voice? I mean, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing there, Nige, like, because you want to get your players all hyped up, and you're saying I could relax everybody. So, you know, we'll see. Portadown spokesperson said, although they recognise Jameson's leading candidate, they feel Horlock is doing well enough for the time being and will not be hoping for a change. They categorically dismissed Jameson's interest, saying they would not consider other candidates while Horlock was still employee of the club. I mean, how long is Kevin Horlock going to be at the club, though? That's the problem. You need to step up, and Portadown are the right step up. Could be, and if we can bring someone like John McGovern up with us as well. Actually, let's have a quick little look at the Portadown squad, shall we? And see how it looks compared to ours. Because we should have a little bit of knowledge for them. So Neil Shields is their goalkeeper, who, I mean, look, he's already done twice as much as Hunter is. 6'2", 28, so he's reasonable. They've got former Leeds United striker Lee Chapman. Might not be Lee Chapman, but he's an S. He's the right back, clearly. Plus, of course, we can raid Banbridge and bring players through if needs be. Lee Upton, 23 years old, good marking, good jumping, acceleration, out of contract. Barney McKeown. Need to bring the view. Yeah, we can bring the view. You know what? I'm not going to get myself excited by looking at these players. He looks pretty tasty as well. Right, let's not look at these sort of players because we don't know what's happening at Portadown. We're going to keep going. If we're still at Banbridge, we're still at Banbridge. If we're not, we're not. That's how it needs to be. Okay? I mean, if we take the Vuke there, that could definitely be a way of developing them, right? 3-1 Stockport. What about that? So we're going to keep our pre-season schedule as it is. Normally, I play the friendlies, but I'm guessing at this point we just want to get straight into the games. Hello, Jebaroo. How are we? The grand old Vuke of York. Yes, we do. We absolutely need the grand old Vuke of York. Amazing. You might not know, and to be fair, why would any of you really know? There's a player at York City called I forget what his first name was. His surname is John Lewis, and so the chant is his name is a shop. His name is a shop. Whatever he's called, John Lewis. His name is a shop. So whenever he scores, the club just tweet out "goal for the shop." So I think in that sense, Lennell. There you go. That's the one. Yes, Lennell John Lewis. So yeah, his name is a shop. So that's what we're dealing with right now. That level. So yeah, if we get anything like that, then we'll be having a great time. At least I didn't just guess. I mean, that would have been worse, right? So I think we still need a striker, and I think we still need a centre half. Okay, that's where I think we need to be. But how is life, Jabaroo? Good work on the FM playoffs, by the way, the other night for the draft. It's always, as I put in the chat, it's always a difficult one, the draft one, because it's like, oh, and this person's drafted this player. What do you think about that? And what do you think about this draft player over here? So I thought you made a very entertaining show. So well done, sir. Well done. Charlton and Ryle State, now in a fan of theirs after their sacked manager for a disappointing 5th place Premier League finish. They've never reached those heady heights since then. I mean, I'll be honest. I have a slight thing against Charlton because of the Sunderland playoff defeat many years ago with the 4-4 and then the victory on penalties. So, but then again, they have Hummel kits, so I'm easily swayed back. So George Sheridan's in. As we say, a stamina of 2 is a slight issue, so let's try and get him on the trainer. We're going to give him some fitness training, I think. Endurance, possibly. Is that going to be better for his stamina? Probably, yeah. There we go. That should theoretically get him up and running a bit better. Home alone for 2 weeks. Are getting a little bored now. Mate, this is the thing. Anything could happen right now, isn't it? Like, we'd just be like, oh, have you seen what Jabaroo's up to these days? No, what's he done? Oh, he's been left home alone for 2 weeks. Oh, dear. And then all of a sudden, anything happens. If you're waiting for the database to be ready, then that could be good to go. Could take a while, but I don't know. Moz is normally fairly swift on these things, isn't he? So fans still seem happy. B-. Faction also, it's the board, isn't it? The board is still happy despite the fact that we've said we'd like to leave. Fans are still pretty happy as well, to be honest. That's good. Is Ryan Arthur keen to join yet? I think we have to wait another season for him. Well, now we've got to wait until December. That's the thing. We thought it was like, oh, we can get him in. We could try and sign him, but I don't think he's going to be interested. Nah, not yet. Because there was him and then there was the striker as well, wasn't there, at the Welders. Well remembered for the names, though, by the way. A15. Yeah. Shatayo does want to sign for us, but he wants 140 quid a week, and we don't know much about him. Granted, on paper he looks fine, but 140 quid a week suggests he doesn't really want to be there. Lee Newell was the striker. He was the striker, wasn't it? Who got all the goals last season. We scored a hatful, 25 in 42 last season. Ryan Arthur, of course, is just a centre half who looks pretty good as well. So, yeah, we are looking around at players, but who comes in, we don't know. Oliver Kinder. Shigato scoring for fun in Work the Spaces Park to Prem save with Guernsey. Is he really? Okay. So are we saying he's worth... Well, hang on. Are we saying he's worth the money now, or are we saying that we look to potentially hope he becomes a Portadown boy? Or do we make him in Banbridge? Because the other option, it's not an ideal option, but the other option is we put all of our eggs into Danny McLaughlin and say he's the shining light. Give him the number 9 shirt essentially and go, right, 15 years old, 15 for finishing, 11 for off the ball, 18 for determination, 10 for acceleration. Right, go and score us some goals. You and DJ Pedro sort it out up front. Do we do that? Or do we get Shatayo? I guess we see what McLaughlin does in pre-season, right? But interesting though that Shatayo's on the radar to work the space. Like, how do you even get there with a Guernsey save? Cammy Palmer. We'd have loved Cammy Palmer, but he just doesn't fancy it, does he? Not on our level, sadly. Look at all these Welsh jobs now. All of the Welsh jobs have come up. Ruthin, Porthmadog, Pontypridd, Pennybot. That one. Lil Swery, Llangefni. So many. Portadown still insecure. Charlton's insecure as well. Derry and Cork and Shamrock Rovers. We're not doing the Republic of Ireland. I do keep thinking, oh, but unless. No, Tony, not unless. Not unless. Stop it, that's a silly thing to do. Right, we have to think about a potential striker if we don't go for Shatoyo. Diego Edwards. From Hungerford. Can't stream Ireland as part of this, but Jameson, Joni Tamerson can. We would have to rebrand it somewhat, Rogue. I think we'd have to call it the British and Irish Challenge, and we'd do it that way. That's how we'd have to get around it, I think. Yeah. Shatoyo was a director of football recommendation. Oh, so essentially, so basically like us with DJ Pedro, essentially. That makes sense. Alex Pomeroy. He's only got 5 goals. Substitute last season. He looks reasonable. Maybe. Aaron Burns 33, so probably not Aaron Burns. So this is the thing. If we go for him, right, then he obviously stays. Let's hang fire for now, right? We've got Shea Conway left, did he? I doubt he's going to want to come. Jack Heald. Where did he come from? Chesterfield? Let's have a look. Tom Wynne Davies. Swindon. Swindon, I don't seem to respect you. There's Widowson as well, who we looked at. He signed a contract extension. He's going to stay. His assistant recommended him. Yeah, that sounds very much like what we got with Drill is interested. 40 quid a week? We've got to do that, surely. Hang on. So marking, tackling, determination, jumping reach. Heading's not good when he gets up though. 6'4". Is this the guy that we put in to work with Evans? Evans is better technically. And he's better mentally. There's only physicals he's actually better than. At 40 quid, he is a bargain, isn't he? Really good marking, really good tackling. That's what we need. They're much of a muchness, aren't they? Who else wants him? Banger. Let's get him in. If he's only 40 quid, let's get him in there, you know what I mean? Like, let's not muck around with that too much. Then, of course, it just means we leave our money, whatever money we've got left for a striker. Harrison Bebbington. We had a look at him. Want to buy Dundela, Crew? I mean, he looks reasonable, doesn't he? Is that too many central midfielders, though, if we're going for him? Because would that then be... Gormley could potentially go to right back. Where's Sheridan? Let's put Sheridan in. Sheridan goes in there. Gormley goes on the bench. So Youngston's already on the bench, you see. But Cabot can drop out. I did say last night about trying 3 first-team centre midfielders. I did. Sheridan and McGann are the first teamers, aren't they? Do we go in for another one? Hello, Jessica Sports. How are you? Welcome in. Hope life's treating you well. Welcome to the stream. I mean, Harrison Bebbington and Donovan Purrington. Like, it couldn't be more sort of like rah rah rah, like a hoity-toity midfield, could it? You know what? Let's see what he fancies. He's going to want the training facilities improved, so he's going to kick off at some point anyway. Are you alright getting ready for the final stretch of your first season in FM? Say 130 quid. I'm going to hang fire on it because I think we'd rather spend our money on a striker. I think that might be the right decision. I think. Don't know. Final stretch of my first season FM. Who are you managing, Jessica? Who's your team? Jack Heels rejected. Shea Conway doesn't want to come either. Ruben Providence still doesn't want to join Rogie. Still not having any of it. It's not good, right? It's not good. I know. Maybe he'll come to Portadown though. Rogie, that'll be it. Maybe he wants to come there. Right, Ballyclare coming in for drill, so maybe move him up to 60 quid. Let's do that. I wonder whether that's going to affect Bevington though. We have to go back in for him again, don't we? Daniel Shield. What do we think of him? Finishing of 12, composure of 13, acceleration of 13. Former Glenavon player. Decent potential. We've got too many players of potential. That's the problem. We need players who are good now. Managing Royal Frank Borans in the 3rd tier of Belgium. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Looking like you might get promoted this season. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Well, Mike King looks pretty decent as well, doesn't he? Decision making, teamwork, vision, technique. Now, is he better than Burbington or? They're quite similar, aren't they? Mike King's apparently a better player, and he's only 18 as well. Better passing, better penalties, better technique, better teamwork and vision. Decision making is much of a muchness. Better anticipation. Is Mike King the answer? He's wanted by Ballyclare as well. Both kind of much of a muchness, really. 5-1 versus 6-1 as well. Where's he been playing? Curzon Ashton as well. So he comes in with Sheridan. 14 for decision making is pretty good though, right? I mean, that right there would be our brand new midfield. McGann, Sheridan, King. Nothing less than a 3-star. DLP or defensive mid, or just a standard central midfielder. What's he looking? How much is he looking for? 55. That's better than 120, innit? Let's be honest. Code of conduct's done. Pre-season meeting. This is where it all goes terribly wrong, isn't it? You know, we can stay up somehow, even if it involves the playoffs, of course. Right, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy again. Ballyclare, Lisbon, Armagh, Portstewart, Owen, Mike King as well. Queens want to try and take Snodden. I suppose he's a backup, and he's 23 years old. He's a decent enough player. Didn't play much last season. Time to get the best striker we can afford. I think so. Jumping reach of 5. Let's let Snodden go. Okay. Snodden can go. The problem we've got now is that the more we're starting to like get these players through the door, the more I'm like, maybe we just stay at Banbridge. Maybe we don't need Portadown. You know? So I think the question now is, do we go for your man Shatoya? He's currently earning 45 quid. He wants 190, and they want 24 grand compensation. Can't do it. We can't do it. We haven't got 24 grand. Bugger. Pomeroy? Is he a shout? B- striker? Let's see who's available, shall we? See who the director of football can suggest first of all. Shatoya for Portadown. Yeah. More money, more problems. Maybe stay put. Potentially, Bureau. Good head in this guy. Decent enough jumping reach. Josiah McHale. 2 goals in 42 matches for Wealdstone. Alex Higgins. Isn't he a snooker player? I mean, that's not saying much when like they're suggesting what we should do is, you know what we should buy as a striker? Get some guy who plays snooker. Excellent. Should we try and sign Steve Davis? Do you think? Oh, we could do, but I've heard Willie Thorne's available on a free contract, on a free transfer this year. Kev Exley, who looks a little bit like Brock Lesnar. Charlie Howley, who looks a little bit like Roy Kent. And Marcus White, who can't finish, finishing 1 to 7, but he's very, very quick. Okay, maybe we go back to trusty players that we've already scouted and already had a look at. Had a look at Paul Robinson. There's nothing there for him. Shortlist says Andrew Mooney, but again, I don't understand this though. This 2 to 5 finishing, because I mean he's not getting many goals. 11 goals in 36 last season, 14 and 35, and 14 and 35. He's 6'4". He's 28. Amateur contract. Would he come in on a trial? I don't know if he will. Pedro's better. Pedro's just better, isn't he? Diego Edwards, again, he's a player that we've had on the shortlist for a while. Acceleration 14, finishing 10 to 14. Off the ball 7 to 11. 5'8". Could he be the poacher? Would DJ Pedro being the target man? Might be. So Mooney's not coming on trial. Diego Edwards isn't coming on trial. Let's just agree all them then for trainers. Bevington, Burns, Shield. Never really use a poacher correctly. I mean, I don't think I am either, to be honest, Nerd Herder. The other thing, the other option we've got, okay, hear me out on this one, is thing with Shatoya at the minute. A15 is that compensation. We can't afford the 24 grand compensation, so that's why we can't sign him. The other thing we could consider is Sharvin goes there and he tries to play his way out into either a transfer to a different side, or he tries to justify the money that's been spent on him. We can't bid for him. That's the problem. We can approach him for a contract, but we can't do anything because it's going to cost us 25 grand to sign him, and the board would just block that straight away. So because we initially balked at 140 quid a week or something, whatever it was, because we didn't know enough about him, it's obviously now come back to bite us on the backside a little bit, to be like, well, you know, maybe you should have took a chance on him. Drill's agreed to go to Limavardi. Oh no, it's not. He signed a new contract. Would you still be interested in coming for? If we just ask, if we offer you the same thing again, would you be interested? Sort of feels a little bit like a sort of shithousey way of doing that. Going like, I know you don't actually have a contract, but and I know you have said you just signed a new contract, but does that contract mean anything to you really in the grand scheme of things? Still insecure, still not moving. Carmarthen has come up in Wales. I think we move to Wales next. I think that'll be where we'll go next. Then we'll go Scotland. Then we'll go England. Then we'll come back. But we shall see. Where are we expected to be, by the way, for next season? JC 198130. Thank you for the follow there. Very kind indeed. In fact, look at that. We're making progress. We're predicted 10th. This is better. So essentially, we have those 12 points we need to try and buy back. It's possible. We might be able to do it now. We might be able to do that. Stephen McCavitt has retired. He's retired. Evening, Nomadic Striker. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Now, I hope you don't mind, everybody, but we are going to allow our assistant manager to take control of the next friendly match, but we'll take it after that. I think we might do some, maybe we'll do some friendlies ourselves, because we need to sort of see how this team plays and see if they're gonna if those signings are gonna fit in the way that we hope that they could. There we go. Drill has signed for Banbridge. Excellent. All good indeed, thank you. Kev Carps, appreciate your follow as well. That's awfully kind of you also. Nice to have you in. Thank you for that. Okay, so Drill's in. Very happy with that. Ignore this bit of technical stuff, but again, another good, solid player for us. So that's another defender, essentially. Armagh now wants Snodden. So I guess the question now is what happens with Mike King? Is he going to sign for us or is he going to go somewhere else? Good shout, Dan. Get some of that old water down there. What are we looking like financially? We're still under budget at this point. We're 80 quid under our wage budget, so we haven't really got a lot of money to play around with regards to bringing another permanent signing in. But we could maybe look to pepper the squad with a couple of loans if possible. Mike King's gone to Armagh though, unfortunately. He felt Armagh offered him an impressive package of bonus compared to what expected from him. However, he felt the wages we offered him were disappointing compared to what he was looking for from us. So he's agreed. He's basically agreed to move for no money and says that what we've offered wasn't good enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we might still need a centre midfielder. A centre forward is a definite. Newcastle under 21s bring big bucks in. I mean, it's dirty money though, isn't it? That's the problem. Dan, that's the problem. I didn't book this friendly, by the way. I did not. I've not signed off on it. Still no recommendations of anybody. Like, this is just, it's worrying from this scouting report, and it's like, have you seen any players yet? Nah, not a thing, Gaffer. No one. Jack McFeely. Again, he's not going to come on loan, is he? Oh, he might do, you know. Where did Jack McFeely do? That was 3 and 6 last year. Good finisher. 26'2". Finishing of 12, determination 14 off the ball of only 7 though. I'll have a think. Ben Eagle. Looks fine actually, Anna, doesn't he? We had him in on trial and look at that. I mean, look. He's got no technicals at all, that's the problem. We had him in and it was like, oh, you know, how does he look? It just doesn't have anything. But the scouts are saying this would be a great player, like get him in, you know. But I think they think he's going to be a right midfielder. We don't want to play him as a right midfielder. Jack Bradley, no goals. Shane Gibson, keeper. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these scouts are just saying like, you know, get everyone. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. You know. I think they're almost trying to justify their own existence. To be like, oh yeah, I saw loads of players, Gaffer. Like, just sign them all. They're all brilliant. They're all brilliant. Each one's the next Lionel Messi. You're not gonna believe it, I've seen the new Juan Sebastian Veron playing. No, you haven't. You haven't. Snodden's turned down the chance to move to Queens or Armagh. Interesting. Banbridge versus Cliftonville friendly's been cancelled due to them playing against Legia Warsaw. So that's quite interesting. I wonder if this actually is going to bring any money in. That'll be the query, won't it? Where do you find that out? Gate receipts. Gate receipts. So it's nothing at the minute, okay? I bet it doesn't bring us any money at all. We gotta play the Sirocco Works and the Windmill Stars next. Airbus have hired a new manager. I think Airbus would have been an easy one to go to for Wales, wouldn't it? That's a pretty much guaranteed promotion, just about. Income gate receipts, just shy of $6,000 that brought us in. Bloody hell, $6,000 of dirty money. Oh, I feel cheap. I feel used. Shall we take over the reins now for these pre-season friendlies? Let's do that. Let's have a quick little look. How many friendlies have we got? 2. Okay, we can play 2. We can play 2 friendlies. The Sirocco Works, the Windmill Stars. They're the teams that we can go up against here. Swansea Uni hot seat's been filled as well by oh dear Rogie. That's put us off Swansea University going forward. So surely it isn't dirty money if your own fans have paid for the gate. Well, maybe not A15, but I mean, hopefully they've turned up to protest. That's what I think is what they've done. So I think our fans are smart, and they've went, right, we'll turn up, but we're gonna make it known that we're not happy about this. So that's what I think's happened there. It's all gone quiet at Portadown. Kevin Horlock's been given a breath of fresh air, hasn't he? A stay of execution. So it's a good job we just kept our recruitment going, doesn't it? We have nobody coming in just yet. Excellent. Maybe we change that to... Maybe we remove that. Let's take that one off, actually. Can I delete that, maybe? That's what I'll do, yeah, remove that. Okay, so strikers is going to be my top recruitment focus. Bring me what you can. I mean, at least Portadown know that we're interested in the eventuality that something comes up. Tony in chat, I hope all is very well from an overworked and tired UPS driver. All's very well, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, welcome in. Appreciate your UPSing. I think we're all quite tired, aren't we? But yeah, it's that thing, innit? You're back to the rest of the delivery stops, just stopping in to say hello. Appreciate it, Johnny. Drive safely, especially in any inclement weather that may happen. So yeah, stay safe out there, man. So Kieran Evans is a bit tired, so let's have a little look at drill, shall we? So he's going to fail a fitness test. Stick him in. Why not? What's the worst going to happen? Or do we give Snodden a go? We've just paid big bucks for drill, haven't we? Give him a run out. Okay, so we're going to keep our eyes on McLaughlin up front. See how he gets on. Fingers crossed he can be the guy that gets us some goals, and that'll then be able to sort of like save us some cash on a new striker. Hutch, how did pre-season go last night? I had to go to bed early for work. Not a problem at all. Hutch, welcome in. It's nice to have you. So in terms of pre-season planning, we think it went pretty well. We think we've got a squad that we're happy with now. We're maybe lacking a striker. We've got 2 friendlies that we're going to play now. So we've got Sirocco Works, then we've got the Willow Stars. Play them next. Then we're into the league campaign, so we should know a little bit more about how this team plays now. So season 4 is about to start, and it will start tonight. The expectation is, of course, still to be relegated. So we've got that. But I think we can probably all agree that that we're in a better position than we were. What happened to McDowell? McDowell, Yaron, went to Ards, I believe. I think we were all hoping that he'd sign for us, weren't we? But yeah, sadly he decided to go somewhere else, so that was a bit shit. We've missed out on him, unfortunately. So, and we've also tried to bring in Shatoya. We had a look at him last night. We thought he was a bit too expensive last night. We've tried to go back in for him again tonight, and the welders are saying, well, you can have him, but it will cost you 25 grand in compensation as well. So we're like, oh, that's pretty much scuppered that deal then. So at the minute, we're hoping on young Daniel McLaughlin to make to do it. Soup with the effort there off the post. His man hurts. So yeah, so at the minute we're basically still going to go with DJ Pedro and McLaughlin. Can we check what contract McDowell got? Yeah, of course we can. Because this is the thing, we've also went in for a player who, what a strike that is. Absolute chaos ball. Evening Lulu Booster, how are you? Check this one out, everyone. Check this. If you haven't seen it, this is wonderful. So here's McGann to Henry, who has a go, and it just hits Croskery on the head, and then the keeper flaps at it. So we'll get that clip. That's a cracking goal to show out for tonight for our wares. Yeah, we'll have a look at McDowell's contract just from what he signed for, because we've already missed out on one player who we offered a contract to, who has gone to Armagh, I think, for zero. He's gone on a non-contract deal. So, and he thought that what we'd offered was bad. Great ball, Croskery through again. Oof. Nice pass that, to be honest. Midfield starting to play quite well. McGann's on a 7. Croskery's on a 7.3. Sheridan's on a 6.7 at the minute, which is okay. But McGann, man hurts. Henry puts the ball up, but no one's there. Henry's on a 7 now. We've moved him out to right back, so he's not a left back after all. Who'd have thought? Played him there all last season. Didn't think anything about it, did we? Just went, that'll be fine. McLaughlin, DJ Pedro, nice movement. Oh, the DJ with the goal. Beautiful finish. I know it's only a friendly, I know we shouldn't get excited, but that's a good ball from McLaughlin. That's a good strike from DJ. So that makes it 2-0, 20 minutes in. It's all about confidence at this point, right? Get these players working out how to play together. Because I think we've got a cup game fairly early on in the season as well, so we need a bit of confidence running through the team. McLaughlin wins the header. So yeah, we're going to keep our eyes on him, see how he gets on, this young striker. Oh, Hunter, did he handball that outside the area? Maybe. I think we got a little bit lucky there. Again, Henry, Murphy, up over the top, into space, but DJ's not going to get there. McGann, Croskery. Murphy with a good ball. DJ's pulled it down. Lovely strike. This is some football, isn't it? If we can turn this on against league teams, we could be into something. DJ Pedro, what a name. Oh, nomadic. He's a genuine player as well. He plays for Salford in real life. He was recommended to us by our assistant manager when you click the director of football suggestions. We knew nothing about him. They went, I'll sign this DJ Pedro lad, and we went, yeah, we absolutely should, just based entirely on his name. He's not brilliant, but for this level he's pretty good. The Sirocco, similar size or smaller. I think they're going to be a smaller size, to be honest. They're a non-league side, so they're probably they're probably like a 0-star team, and we're like a half-a-star team. So they're nowhere near the level that we're going to be playing in the Championship, but it's definitely about confidence, isn't it? Getting the players to sort of like learn when to pass the ball, and then even just seeing DJ scoring goals, getting into positions. McLaughlin's on a 7.1 as well. You can't see behind my head, but McLaughlin's on a 7.1. DJ's on an 8.7, so I mean, it's a good start, isn't it? A15. It's a good start for the boys. Soup's not having a good time though. 6.5. So we need to maybe bring Rory Keane on. Give him a bit of a G up, and I think maybe. So let's put Hamilton on there as well, rather than in place of Sheridan, and then Gormley can come on. He can have a bit of a run out. McLaughlin scored against Newcastle in the friendly you boycotted. Did he? I need to have a look at that. If he's done it against them, then that's great. You know what I mean? He's guaranteed a start for the season. So, evening Football Nation pod, how are we? Hope you're well. Friday night I played a gig down the Working Men's Club. Saturday afternoon up top for Banbridge. That's exactly what it is for the DJ. He actually DJs in the clubhouse after the match as well. So I don't like it, but he loves playing Come On Eileen. Followed by Hard Trance. So there's McLaughlin. There's our lad. Yeah, drop me a message, man. Hit me in Discord or whatever. So you know where to get me. Cross-screw with a great ball, McLaughlin. That's a good finish from the youngster, man. He's only 15, this boy. 15, and he finishes like that. Ice running through the boy's veins. Gormley lifts it up. Put in the wrong position. So let's move Gormley out to right back. We can rest Henry. Put Snodden in. I'm going to put Doran in at left back in place of Manhurts. Just try a few players out in various positions, isn't it? See who comes on, see who does well. And Vukovic, of course, yeah, Vukovic is ready, isn't he? Crosscury on 7.8. Crosscury. Inside. Hamilton. Not a bad effort. Where's Vuk? There's Vuk. Murphy's free kicks. Decent. Do we... McGann at the back post. Maybe we send for Purrington as well. Decent over the effort. Do we bring Sharvin on? Do we see if he can get a goal? See if he can sort of like try and convince us that he wants to play? Let's do it. Go on then. Try and have a game. Bring Purrington on as well in place of DJ. DJ's on 2 goals, so I'm sure he'll be a bit upset he's been brought off, but let's see how we get on. Hamilton gets his foot in. Sharvin's not going for it. I think Sharvin's not got the pace. I think he's a good sort of like 6 yard box striker. I think playing off the shoulder, he just doesn't fancy it, does he? Which is weird because I do think he is a poacher, but like an old school poacher, as opposed to what FM now thinks a poacher needs to be with regards to the real game now. McGann up over the top. There's Sharvin. See what I mean about like just being in the box like that. Francis Jeffers, Fox in the box. That's where he needs to be. Like, no movement at all. Thank you. Just let me stay where I need to be. With Gary Lineker. Gormley has an effort. Central mid. Who's just a normal central mid? Kaká. All the first team, all the outfield players have been replaced. They've had 11 shots, the visitors. So the hosts, I should say. So they've had 11 shots. I don't know how or when. Only one on target, though. So yeah, Sharvin just doesn't get involved. He's just not bothered. Even at this level, he's like, nah, not fussed. So for me, I think it's like, his days at the club are numbered, I think. Despite the fact he was in the stream a few weeks ago, I think his days are numbered, I'm afraid. We'll take that though, 4-0. That's pretty good. It was McDowell, wasn't it? Year on, you wanted to have a look at. Where do you go? Is it this guy, Jay McDowell? I think that was him, wasn't it? 55 quid a week. He signed a contract of 2027. Actually, he's listed for loan. No wage contribution. Let's have a look, shall we? Is this how we actually... Do you actually benefit by like not signing him properly, but then maybe look at getting him on loan? Sharvin's a lower league Teddy Sheringham. Well, see, I think Teddy Sheringham like probably holds the ball up a little bit more than what Sharvin does. I don't really know. The more I'm looking at Sharvin, the more I'm thinking, I don't really know where he would fit. You know what I mean? Like, as I say, I think he's maybe just like a 6-yard box finisher, but we'll see. I got Larn Tech have come in for a friendly there as well. So yeah, so we might be able to get this McDowell lad on, potentially get him in on loan as well, which could be interesting. That is him, isn't it? That is definitely him. He's on the shortlist. That must be him. Jay McDowell from Linfield. Yes, it was the Linfield striker. I mean, yeah, if we can get him in, then I think our business is done. Unless we think there's one more central midfielder we fancy. Because we didn't get Mike King. We said we wanted 3. We've got 2. Is there anyone else in the central midfield that we really like? Dean Waters, early signs of a terrific signing. Possesses amount of pace and selfish. Good. Absolutely sounds like a terrific signing there, doesn't he? Let's see what they think. He wants to come and have a look, does he? I want a backup target forward or a free lone fringe player in case DJ gets hurt. It's not a bad shout, actually. It's not a bad shout at all. McDowell rejects the loan offer. Well. Okay. Let's give that that, is it? That's fine. Seamus Ferris can go back there as well. Under 18s. Chris Hall. Under 18s. He's not going to be good enough, is it, really? This is a bit out there, but yes, this someone recommended a deep lying forward, and it turned out to be quite a useful role. Deep lying forward was great, Max. Love a deep lying forward. There's a position formation. There's a position that we were using last season. Now this is out there. Is a pressing forward on defend. Okay, so you get all the benefit of a deep line forward. So we're playing a pressing forward on support. But look at this. You take it here. So on support, holds the ball up, closes down more, tackles harder. Pressing forward is becoming more important in the modern game. Main duty is to put pressure on the opposition when they have the possession, close them down, chasing any loose balls in order to prevent the opposition players having too much time on the ball. The point at which he will press is dependent on the team's overall line of engagement. With support duty, the pressing forward will genuinely take more risks when looking to bring teammates into the game. So that's kind of similar to what you've got here with your deep lying forward. I guess drops deep, picks the ball up, looks to get others into play. So the pressing forward on defend, however, takes fewer risks, holds the ball up, shoots less often, holds position, closes down more, and tackles harder. So again, all the same stuff here. But with the defend duty, the pressing forward will generally look to bring others into the game, then create his own chances. So again, gives you just something a bit extra to play with. So a DLF and a poach is a really, really nice combination, to be honest. So definitely something to keep our eyes on. I do like a DLF. I'm a fan. So let's see. Where's our young goalkeeper gone? We've got an incredibly good young goalkeeper. There is Ollie Marsh. Getting back in the first team squad. Stick him on the bench actually instead of Hannon. How's season 4 going? Even the yard. So we're kind of just in our friendlies, and we've had a very, very good performance. Very good performance from the team in that last match there. We've just won 4-0. Granted, it's against a team who are sort of like amateurs, so we should be beating them. But you can only beat what's put in front of you, and I think we did very well. So happy with that. In terms of what we do going forward, I guess we wait and see. It's one of those matches where I think we've recruited pretty well during the summer. I'm fairly happy with what we've got. I think that we are probably, I think up front is probably still a concern, really. We're trying out this new partnership of DJ Pedro and Daniel McLaughlin, 15-year-old striker, and DJ Pedro. Evening Studs Up FM, how are you, man? Welcome in. Nice to see you. Hope life's treating you good. Studs, of course, raids us quite a bit, so feel free to drop a follow on Studs there. So yeah, McLaughlin scored a couple of goals in pre-season, so that helps. That's a good effort. Oh, I think our goalkeeper Hunter was going on a little bit of a walkabout there, wasn't he? So caught himself out. But yeah, I think overall recruitment's been pretty good. So we just need to see what happens. How that transfers into the league, I don't know. You can never really tell fully, can you? But as long as we get some decent results, hopefully we'll go in with a bit of momentum. So we can go from there. We think this is probably, unless we get some great results and a piece of silverware, we think this is potentially our last season with Banbridge. We may have to start looking to go elsewhere, because we do need to start winning some trophies in this save. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those things we're never going to get finished. So, which is a shame. But we've kind of got our eyes on the Portadown job, I should say. Sorry. But we think Kevin Horlock's been given a stay of execution, so he might get a little bit of time this season, but he might also be under pressure. Evans has missed the header. Okay, let's go cautious on this then. It's not. We shouldn't really be going cautious against the Windmill Stars, but you know, I have to drop back a little bit. Watch those long balls going up through the top. Also move Evans into the other side. Good save by Hunter. I think this is the thing as well. We need to lighten the load on Evans a bit. Keep forgetting he's only 17. He's played a lot of football. So if we can be in a situation where he doesn't have to play every single match, then that might help him develop better. Soup. Oh, he takes the ball out. Oh, sorry to hear you've lost your voice, Studs Up. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like the streamer's ACL. Oh, it's a penalty. Evans pushed down. Pedro steps up. It's normally Evans that takes the penalties, but DJ is stepping up. It should be Evans taking the penalties. Another miss from Pedro. He missed one in the league last season as well, which was the sort of game we should have won as well. So it was not. I need to remember to not have him on penalties. I think it's tempting to have your striker there. Be like, all right, give him the striker, he'll score them. But sometimes just give it to a centre half and let them put their foot through it. Barton, bedtime again. Let's see if you help me sleep tonight. I will try my best, Barton. I've got my soothing voice on for you tonight, so not sure how excited we'll get. If the league kicks off proper though and we start doing well, then maybe I'll get a little bit more excitable. But for tonight, I just want to be nice and relaxed for you. Pedro, lovely goal. Beautiful goal. That's the sort of football we want them to play, innit? Just takes a touch round the keeper. That's Croskery with the ball. Great ball through. Little touch. Keeper comes for it, and that's just tiny little tap in. Doesn't put anything on it. Just literally touches it into the net. That'll do. Eventually we get our goal. It's been coming. It's been a long time coming, though, right? DJ Pedro gets involved again. Man hurts down the line. Soup cuts back. Croskery. McLaughlin doesn't go for it. Croskery with the effort. Right, let's have a little look. That's Evans. We're going to bring Evans off again. Right, give him a bit of rest. Put Snodden in there. I think that Doran can have another go at left back. It's going to be interesting to see how he develops this season. Gormley at right back. Vuk can come in. Let's do that for now. Campbell and Croskery pressing on the wings. They're definitely doing what they need to do. Croskery won the player of the season award last year, so he's bang in form, I think, and he's now got a proper contract, so he's now been locked down for a couple of seasons. Drill with a header, and Vukovic with the corner. So there we go. Give Sharvin 45. This is the tail skin, yeah, Studs, yeah. It's the tail skin. Plus, we also have. I'll tell you what. I'm going to bring him. Let's bring McLaughlin off for Sharvin, and also we're using Stag's custom views as well. There we go. Yes, he's got like some proper good data views, which are really, really nice. So I download them. There's so many. I think there's about 40 views or something. So it's really, really handy. Breaks into like sort of some of the stats that you just don't get on the vanilla templates. So yeah, 2-0 up. Looking handy. Everyone's got to be pretty chuffed with this so far. Tumulty. That's fine. Keep them where they are. They're not going to score from out there. Let's bring Pedro off. give Purrington another run. Actually, not Purrington. Let's put Kakar in there. Actually, see how that works. Just behind the strikers. Oh, sorry, as the sort of the drop off really. Change him to a DLF. Excuse me. Off the line from Gormley. Well played. Gormley at the other end now. Throw in, goes nowhere. Sheridan. Gormley thinks about it. Sheridan deflects out to Doran. Puts in for nobody. Absolutely nobody. It's not the end of the world, is it? FM newbie, welcome in. Appreciate your follow, very kind. Sharvin again, just not asked. Just not asked. Just like, nah. He didn't play it directly to my feet. I'm not bothered. He's got like a bit of a sort of like Belfast Balotelli about him. Oh, there we go. There he is. There he is. Literally gets his chance. Smacks it in. Waters with a good ball. The trialist. Vuk gets his head up. So, 2 assists for Vukovic. Why was me? Yeah, the Belfast Balotelli. I might start calling that from now on. He's on a 7.3. Doran. Oof, drives it across the goal. I mean, 3-0. It doesn't necessarily flatter us because it was a game we're expected to win and a game we should win. But I think after that first 45 minutes, we weren't looking massively comfortable. The second 45 was better, so we'll take that. It's another clean sheet. It takes us up to 7 goals scored in pre-season now in the 2 games that we've managed, obviously. Sharvin's going to bag 12. I mean, 12's a bold statement, Barton, because last season Morgan got 11 and he was our top scorer. So if we're saying 12 for Sharvin, okay. A redemption story. I mean, it would be a redemption story because obviously he's already asked to leave, so he's on the transfer list and nobody's coming in for him. So there is that as well. He's got that. He does. You could argue he needs to play to get that move. Like, come in, show me what you want to do, show me how good you can be, and if you're good enough, then maybe someone else will come in and bid for you. It's kind of all there for him, isn't it? He's. Yeah, I can't do it for him at the end of the day. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Ollie Marsh. I'm going to give him a try. Actually, I'm going to put Sheridan in place of McGann. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put Hamilton in instead of McGann. Vuk is playing very well. Do we rest Crossgrove? Let's try Purrington. Let's try Keane in there as well. We might as well try and